Back again. Shimi podcast. I was rehearsing this or trying to say it. It's gone. It has gone. It has completely gone.
Yeah, so we're back again. It's me, your boy Mapalo. New face. You know how it goes. Facelift.
That's hard.
Transplants.
That's hard.
Yeah.
No, man, that's cool. That's
pierced
cool.
my ears.
Mapalo just ultimately become just cool now.
Yeah.
Mapalo just become cool, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause.
So
round of applause.
definitely, you know me. You know I always wanted to be dark skinned. Gorgeous. You know how it goes.
Yeah. No, Mapalo like skin. And be lying.
But you're like.
You should
brown,
see his.
bro.
You should see his
Like
his socials.
you're sort of like you're caramel, bro.
You're just there.
I like it.
You're like with a touch of brown.
Like it's cool, like you're
Yeah, with a touch of brown, boy. So you're
cool,
okay.
like when you dip like the caramel apples. Like, yeah, man, just and
You're just
caramel
there.
apple,
So you're
bro.
just you've got a touch of brown on you, man.
Yeah,
So
bro, like you can pass for both, bro. You're like, yeah, like
Yeah,
if
cool.
they were like colors for dark skin and light
Color for that.
yeah, it's both, man. It's like you're colored but brown.
Oh God, man, no. Anywho, guys, welcome back to the Shimi podcast. I'm Toast. Hey, okay, we.
No, you're just okay.
Alright, welcome back, guys. We've got Nason as our guest today. We've been poaching him since season 1. Glad that you've made it, okay, bro.
Finally here.
Yeah, man.
Finally
Yeah,
here.
man. At the Shimi podcast.
At the Shimi podcast, you know how we do.
Otherwise, man, thanks for having. Lord, why am I here? Thanks for having me. That's what I'm saying.
Plus, this is my podcast.
This
is my table. These are my phones.
That's why I hate being very generic about what I do because I always missed it and stuff.
Yeah, I feel you.
Glad you're here.
But it's come.
Yeah, right, Jack. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy yourself
Already
because
enjoying
apparently Paolo has decided that he's not. You know what Paolo said?
Ah.
He's not feeling camera.
Oh,
He's not feeling camera. What did you say? What is camera?
what does that
camera?
even mean,
I
bro?
don't even
I feel like
know.
people from the cover build come out with something. No, I think it's Zambia in general. Where we just say a word twice.
Twice
and
and
it
it's
makes
a thing.
sense. Like it's a thing.
It does make sense when you think about it.
Because when you
Camera,
just
camera.
ask, because you know it's
I'm not feeling okay.
yeah. It's like,
She don't
like,
win or win.
if you want to ask someone if they are very okay, but not that okay, like if you want to ask them if they are very okay, say laka. If they are, then now if you want to know like just what it's like laka, then it's like the meaning completely changes.
Yes,
So
no, that's true. No, the fact that you said
Yeah.
that the emphasis on if you're doing great is
Yeah,
twice. Like I feel laka,
Yeah.
laka.
Yeah.
Then your friend is good. I would feel laka, laka.
Yeah.
Then now you be like, bro, don't we know it?
Ah, that's
So
how
yeah,
it
that's
is.
how it is. Yeah, right, man.
Yeah, not feeling camera.
So not feeling
So if
camera,
you're feeling camera.
Because he said it twice. Anywho, man. A lot to talk about today. Very important topic on men's mental health. We will also be touching a bit on Twitter. The thing with Twitter though is it's to be very sensitive because you don't know. You could just get caught easily because someone will like catch this and be like, hey, they're talking about us, this guy. Me, I know this guy. Wow. Disclaimer, me, they don't know me. So it's okay.
I think it is, yeah, and I think it's. But the crazy part, yeah, for us who've been like there long enough, when they talk
Yeah.
about someone, you can tell like, we know who we are talking about. Just mention his name. We know who.
at that
we
guy.
know who we
So
are speaking about.
Yeah, just at the guy so that you don't have to read out with
Sometimes
things,
they're even
man.
scrolling, you're like, he's talking about me.
Just say my name, man.
Just say it.
it's me.
It's
Just
cool.
say it's me, man.
It's calm.
Don't be out here making it look like as if I'm your enemy. Just tell me, bro. Otherwise, man can't lie. I've been on Twitter like for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Man, there's been moments where like someone's being okay. It's not nice.
Yeah.
But the moments I do like when someone's being dragged.
Oh, and there's chaos.
Call me the gold, man. Like the ingenuity guys have on Twitter. No, guys.
No, it's actually crazy how like they would do a deep dig before they finally respond. Huh?
And then people, I'm impressed by how people just quick-witted about their replies.
And it's so quick and it's so fast.
You think you've got them.
No.
No, he did this. he'll just come at the end there, just come a wine line, and everyone
And it's
will
over.
forget everything what you just
Yeah, like everything you said doesn't matter.
out.
Someone dropped a
out.
diss track, yeah? You see that?
Is that the guy that dropped the one to like the Zambian?
Yeah,
rapper
yeah,
guy?
it was like the Zambian rapper, what's his name? Philip Mwemba, man. He
Yeah,
dropped
yeah,
a whole diss track in response. Listen, I back it. Oh, you didn't see?
You
No,
didn't see?
I'll tell you
man,
afterwards, bro.
diss
It was
track, man.
with lyrics, bro.
It was loud.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, like with lyrics.
Boy.
I was happy,
people,
man.
Wait, people on Twitter petty. Man.
It was that bad.
Hey, when people want to just like do you bad, man, they'll do you bad. It's crazy. Otherwise, man, again, we're finding ourselves going
Yeah, we're
way
drifting,
too
we're
we're drifting
drifting off,
apart.
we're
So let's
back.
get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
on the Twitter space. So, man, you has been on Twitter for a long time.
Yeah.
How's been the change towards landscape and just in general? What's changed over the years from the first time you got onto it to like 2024 now?
Yeah, because everyone thinks I started maybe like in 2010 or something. I joined it in like 2017. Yeah, it's not like that far back, but it's like it's a bit far
Yeah,
back
it's a bit
now.
far back. Yeah.
But it's like I think it's been nothing really has changed. It's sort of like it's just the same thing. I think the only thing that I really enjoy is like how issues are discussed.
Okay.
Like certain like a lot of different things come up, especially like I remember during election period, for example,
True.
where I would sort of host spaces and talk about bring on politicians like, okay, what do you have for us?
What do you
Like,
have for us?
like,
Yeah.
what's-
There was
what do you have
that
for-
his name, I don't know, the education minister or something. Huh?
yeah.
The guy with glasses. I don't know his PhD something. His handle's got something to do with the PhD.
that was Brian Mushimba, yeah?
Yeah.
Bro, you remember? I was on that space.
I was on that space, so I
I
remember.
spoke on it.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
No, like I like how very articulated he was. Of course, don't want to go into the politics
Yeah,
of it,
no,
but
no,
yeah,
no,
otherwise
not
it was
touching
very,
that. Yeah.
it was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool that
Yeah.
that happened, and it was nice that we got to interact with him in that way.
Yeah.
And then I do not want to make us look like we're like a certain people, but we kind of. People on Twitter are not your average Facebook audience.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're
it's
kind
very
of smart.
different. It's very different.
So I always laugh when I find a Facebook person, like a Facebook,
yeah, proper Facebook.
he's
person.
there with his corny ass jokes.
Yeah.
Who come and they'll just
No,
look.
the first thing they'll tell you is this is not Facebook.
That's it. Like that is it.
And
And that'll be the
that's
end.
literally- it's
And
like,
that'll
this
be
is
the
not-
end.
and this is not, and that's the end. And now everyone starts cooking you, and now you're like,
You're dragged.
you're
In
dragged,
the
you're
story.
shocked. But I think that's what I love about Twitter over there. Is it's like when it's time for serious discourse, we're able to have like serious. When it's time for bands, everyone's able to have like bands and stuff. Like I've met some pretty cool people, gotten like pretty cool opportunities from there as well.
Def.
So it's like I think that's the one thing I've enjoyed. But in terms of landscape, it's still the same. Like sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's just jokes.
So, like,
Sometimes
since-
someone's getting dragged.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
the same, like you said, from 2017 to like 2024. Of course, the audience has gotten a bit bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
More people on it now. Some, of course, still don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
For me, that's how I see it. Some people still
Yeah.
don't know how to use it. But in terms of like the Zambian, okay, I can just address it maybe to say an audience, I know, like Z Twitter. How has
Yeah.
it been since it was in its inception till now? Because now you can put a hashtag there and it's a pretty big audience. So how
Yeah.
do you think it's grown from like 2017 to like now?
Yeah.
And its general consensus on how it is as an, I can't say on how it is like as a, I think it's like an audience. That Twitter is like
Yeah,
an audience.
definitely an
So
audience.
there's a lot that goes on. And I
Yeah.
think, like you said, you've been on it for some time. So
Yeah.
how do you think how's it evolved?
I think definitely with like most social media platforms, lots of people start joining in. So like
Okay,
there've been
okay.
different people have joined in, but really I don't know, man. In terms of change, not much, but I am enjoying the fact that it's opened a new space. I really believe in like the power of social media. So I'm happy it's like it's being used as a tool to enhance people's personal growth. Like certain people can get into influencing, certain people can find their jobs from there, certain people are getting into like social media management. Like I do social media management. The whole influencing thing looks exhausting. So yeah, it's
Man,
I'm not ready,
the minute I opened a TikTok account, I realized people that do what they do,
They're really strong.
They're strong.
They're really strong
Every day.
every day.
Guys,
Even
no.
film yourself waking up.
Hmm.
Slow. That's it. So yeah, guys, I woke up.
Like, man, and then the foolish people that are watching are like, what's how he wakes up, eh?
When I was waking up.
Man, how does it look so good waking up, eh?
Then she woke up, set the camera, then went back to sleep. I'm like, I want to reach there. I want to have that energy. But I know, and that's why I respect influencers. But like,
It's a whole work, and
Yeah.
I think people don't understand how very serious that stuff for certain people is.
people don't understand how much money there is. Like, I've seen influencers contracts. You know, some people get like 10K per post.
No.
Oh,
Ah,
oh,
10K.
10,000
Oh.
per post. I've seen like
Hey,
with my own eyes.
what do I need to do? A camera and what? What do I need to have? Eh?
The following, bro.
True.
I was about to say something, but it's PG.
It's a PG shot,
A PG
please.
show.
Hey.
But if you drop a video, your rise to starhood will be very fast. You are one video away from being an influencer.
Def. I'm showing bums.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah. Okay, we've
Oh
gone
my
again.
God! No, why would you show? No, why would I show you mine?
No
Nah,
promises.
fam.
This degree thing keeps going.
Nah, you will see it on my OnlyFans.
Nason at. But getting back to it before we run away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sort of just like, the change has been, it's been quite significant just to see. I think the most interesting thing for me now is just seeing people's like different point of view. And like by point of view, I mean on things that actually make sense.
That
like
actually
just
matter,
seeing,
man.
like the diverse range of what people talk about, like from politics to entertainment to music and so on.
True.
And I think it's like, because of Z Twitter, for example, I've discovered a lot of Zambian artists are joining that, like the upcoming artists. Not the more established ones are more Facebook and Insta, especially Facebook oriented.
Yeah.
But like with Twitter, I've discovered so many like new artists coming up, like the underground. I discover like the range of music Zambia has, and that's just the thing. There's so many different people. Like that's where I go and I want to see things that I can't easily find, like blogs, for example. You don't even know
Really?
how Zambians do great blogs.
I follow the usual people. Them,
Yeah.
What's her name? Pesa?
Patience.
Not Patience. Them Pasa girl? Is it Pasa? I don't know her name. It starts with M. It's this very wrong, vague name to start with, but it's I think it's Pasa something.
Yeah.
She's got a whole YouTube thing.
Ah,
Her
okay,
content's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
Content's
especially the
pretty cool.
YouTubers
Then
as well.
even Alice Girl.
Yeah,
Yeah. So those guys have got like pretty cool stuff going on.
Yeah, so I've discovered a lot actually from going there. Of course, people putting out their art and like people are really supportive if your art is good, like with retweets and whatever. So it's a pretty it's growing. It's still growing, and like it's getting to a point where if certain people want to go that route, at least they can go that route.
And they'll find
So
an
I've seen
audience out to
people
be
who've taken
engaging
it.
with them.
Yeah, I've seen people who've taken it from like a side hustle, and it's like the main thing they are doing now. It's just social media management or influencing, and they are making like all the money they need.
Man, 10K is not easy, man.
It's not easy, bro. That's
not
crazy.
Easy, not
10K
easy.
per post.
They post, guys.
So
Then when you see them, but this guy didn't have things to do. Why is he
you
posting
know what
every
I
day?
mean? Like he's
Can't you
posting
don't let-
himself waking up. He's waking up to 10K.
He's taking up to 10K.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think I laugh at this notion when I'm having this discussion with maybe older people. That
Yeah.
like, you kids these days are all social media. They don't know the same social media that you're saying you're all about it.
Yeah.
Is what's putting food on the table. I think
def.
people are, because this white collar situation happened for them, or it works for them.
For them, it worked for them for a while.
For
yeah.
now, I mean, Gen Z ain't about that life. Waking
No.
up, doing 7. No, that's like, man, I will open a page. I will do my thing at any time. I need
And
to
you're
work.
good. Yeah,
Same other people will be checking them out.
exactly.
Mad. And I always find that funny. Like,
Yeah.
you have a conversation with someone and they'll say something as rubbish as that. You're like,
yeah.
man, you have to just know what's going
Yeah.
on. It doesn't make sense. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Anyway, man, which brings me to my next point of at the moment, what's like your go-to thing on like Twitter? Like, what are you on a normal day? What would you be like searching on? I know I'm a football guy, so
Yeah.
normally I'll be checking what's new, what's trending,
Yeah.
la 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 la. But what do you do like on Twitter? What's the most thing you're engaging yourself in? I like
think-
spaces at some point.
Yeah, but they went down. I remember that's what I used to do the most actually when I was like starting. I used to do a lot of spaces. That's sort of what, got me there. It was like spaces and activism, but like sort of when school, for lack of a better term, kicked my ass, I sort of had to step away from everything for some time just to
But
like
how's that going?
focus on that. Nah, school's good. I'll be done.
Okay.
What, in a week? I'll be done in a week. So at least like,
that satanic
I think,
institution.
yeah, last. I'm sure by the time this is dropping, then I'll be done.
Ah.
I'll just be chilling.
Damn
So
right.
it's pretty calm. So because of that, I sort of had to take a break. But
Okay.
my interest when I started, like what I really it's still my interest anyway. I'm going to get back to it as I was just waiting to get done with this so that I can sort of get back into it. But it's always just been issues that center around like activism and advocacy, like
Okay.
actually doing things that
That
matter,
that
that
matter.
makes sense. And but I'm also there just for like the fun and the bands and the vibes. Like when
That's
I
all.
like sometimes it's just having
like
a
you can't be
bad
too
day.
serious, guys. You can't be too serious, man.
Just having a bad day and you just like when you go there then everyone's just cracking jokes and I used to have something to like laugh at, and then, so it's sort of like that's what nowadays it's sort of that. And also news, I get a lot of current affairs. Like when you follow like the correct journalists, you get pretty good current affairs.
Shout out
like
to what's his name, Boo.
yeah, Dingindawa Jonah. Yeah,
Man.
Jonah's
love
pretty-
Jonah stuff, man.
Jonah stuff is, and his spaces are also very informative.
Yeah, man. Like
So it's
you,
sort
you
of
know,
like-
as much as of course Zambians always have this thing where they want to fall in love with somebody.
Yeah,
They always have someone they'll
Yeah,
latch
yeah,
on to,
yeah.
and they'll be on that guy. They're like, man, I always this guy.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
his
yeah.
stuff. And it's cool, but it's also bad because the minute you,
You make a
just
mistake.
make a mistake, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's like it's along those lines. I still love to look at like activism and like read different articles that people do, like just to see how far we are, because it's like that's something I want to do. Away now that I'm done with school, those are certain things I can now focus on, because are things that I had started getting into, but because I sort of had
I had to put it away.
I
and
had put it
everything.
on the side, and it hurt, but I had to say
Yeah, man,
right now, like I can't,
I understand that feeling.
when
where
you
have
put
to
down something like you love or something that gives you purpose, and you sort of have to. But at that point, life was hitting me left, right, center. I think I'll touch on it more when we talk about like the mental health aspect of it. But yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah, right now it's just nowadays it's really just been like for the vibes, the bands and stuff like that.
Feel like a senior now, eh? Just
Yeah,
like on
it's
Twitter,
like-
like
it's sort of
used to watch
like-
out, they're
yeah.
excited, they are posting everything. Man, I used to do that like back,
Like, I used to-
back
especially,
in
like-
2020.
Especially like when I see the tours, everyone like going at each other. I just don't have the strength in me anymore, bro. Like I used to fight, bro. Like I used to. Like,
I
used
think
to
I've always
argue.
been scared on going after people. I go after my friends.
Yeah, your friends
It's
are your
okay. It's cool.
friends.
Someone I don't know. I'm always skeptical. I'm like, what if I lose?
Yeah.
Well, how's that going to work out? Like, I don't want that on my resume.
Nah, it's sort of like, and people can be like, and I think that's like the dark side of it. People can be awful, yeah. Because when I was going through, what you call, because at CBU it's sort of like we have academic years. So instead of going through the next academic year, I went on part time, which means like when you fail like 3 courses or whatever.
Yeah.
That was when I was like recovering from COVID. I had gotten COVID like right before
Oh,
exams,
damn,
so it was
damn.
like
Must have
an
been
off
an
and
experience, huh?
people they were so happy that I failed, bro. It's sort of like you carry yourself like you're smart. Now you're so down. You
How
failed
do you
to
say
clear.
that?
It was like people would come at things they don't know, like and that's a dark side of it now that people don't really like.
Don't
If the
really know,
sometimes
yeah.
the dragging
Yeah.
is fun when it's like playful.
I think
But
it's
it
fun
always-
if it's fun when it's it's playful stuff. But when it's really serious, and
Yeah,
you're still being
yeah,
dragged by
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
It's like-
mentally challenging. People that recover from that, man, kudos to
It's-
them because
yeah.
it's really bad.
Because it
will
would get it would get to points where like I'm dragged so hard that I would trend number 1 in Zambia.
no.
Or like you would search and number 1 would be like my name. Like, that's how bad it used to get. Like I used to get dragged, and I don't know. I just have I have pretty thick skin.
Okay.
It's sort of like the only person I sort of learned over the years that the only person who can
Get
really
you.
hurt me is me.
okay.
And that's the one thing
Hey,
that I
man,
put in mind. Like I should be the only person who's like
You should
capable
be
of
able to
hurting me
get in yourself. Yeah,
with
yeah.
select members of my nuclear family.
Sure.
But yeah, but it's sort of it was a very insane period because people hated the fact that I stood for something,
Yeah.
that I
yeah.
stand for something. I still stand for it. Just because I'm not as vocal anymore doesn't mean like
You
that
have to
stuff
come at
left
me.
my system,
Exactly.
it was like it was a crazy period because like people just hated me because when you stand for things like, for example, when you stand for women's rights and you say, guys, like
It's not good to do
like,
this.
don't be a rapist, and everyone's upset. Oh, why are
Hey.
you calling me a rapist?
Hey, wow.
I didn't even
No,
say like
why are you
no.
guilty? Why are you
Like, I
guilty,
never
man?
even talked about you.
Yeah, like don't be guilty. All I'm saying is I'm putting my point across.
Yeah,
all you
it's
have to
sort
do
of
is
like
either man
this.
look at it or just ignore it.
Ignore it. Like if it doesn't make sense, ignore it. But like people just took that personally. So it's like sort of started from subs, and I would ignore it, like for a long time. But I was way younger then. I was like, oh, not way. I'm not far away from that age. But I was like,
Yeah, he's not a
I was
Bali.
like,
in
I'm
case
not a
you're wondering,
Bali.
He's not a Bali.
Yeah. But I was in like my earlier 20s. So it was one of those things where I was quite young. So I ignored it for a while. When I started getting like agitated, and now I would snap back and turn into like these nasty fights. And I
Has
think
anything ever gotten like have you had like interaction then not that it went physical but like
or like
you had
it
somebody
spills off onto the
it
person.
spills no it spills to like personal like now you meet them maybe in person maybe it's like somewhere
Yeah, it's sort of like it never used to spill out to. I'm not a small person, so no one is physically going to
to
come.
come out.
Yeah, like trying to fight me, you know.
Have you
I've
seen this
walked-
guy? He's tall. He is tall.
So like when I walk, like I would even see someone like, oh, yeah, the one who was talking, but like when we're walking, he just walks past me like, but like you're the one who's always vocal, like talking about me and stuff like that. And those are things that sort of made me
Keyboard
feel lazy.
warriors
It's
is
like,
for
yeah,
people,
like
man.
most niggas are just like, So I asked a keyboard warrior, and you start wondering,
Then what was the point of you actually going at me?
going
You
at
had
me,
no
and it was
power
so
of
like it was
actually
so
doing
bad. You know what they would do? I remember one time they actually like dug through a list of results, like test results. I kid you, that's how bad it used to get.
How much must
Like-
you like want somebody to
Yeah,
like down
like-
for like that?
Digging through test results and looking for like one test that you failed, so that they can talk about. That's why you got 40%, and it was a joke for like.
And you know, of course, at the time, probably like now that you're mentioning it, at least
Yeah.
you're in a better place. But imagine at the time, man, these are confidential stuff that only you and
Yeah.
the lecturer should know about.
Yeah.
And this man them was decided to go
All the way, yeah, like
be-
on the net and talk about it, it would get really bad. The only thing they couldn't get, like they dug, and up to today, like some people still dig to get like family information, because there's someone who like once went at me and was talking about, oh, you know, he was raised by a single mother. That's how he's the way he is. And I'm like,
Wait, excuse me, like whoa, bro. Excuse me?
I look at my
Yes.
phone. I'm like, but I was talking to my dad yesterday.
Maybe my dad didn't
Like, my dad's not alive. Maybe he's not my dad. You know.
Like, excuse me. It's
Like,
like,
and you know that's the thing, yeah. People would just make things up, and people would take them as like gospel truth,
Def. Social
people
media,
take
man,
them as,
it's
like,
mad.
proper gospel truth, and it's sort of like, well, and that's sort of what made me go through a lot of these issues. Like at the time, it was really bad. It never affected me to a point where like, oh, I'm sad, I'm crying, or whatever, like because of what someone on Twitter said. But it was agitating. I won't lie and say it's not frustrating when you get on and like at the topic for a week. You know, everyone's just
That's-
talking about you.
Just talking about you, man. It's
Talking about how down you are, how you fail at
like,
school.
man, like it's not cool.
And it's sort of like, you know, and then now you look at some of, like, when you discover things about certain people.
But then people are like, man, I don't want to go this route
Like, I
because
don't
you're
want
like
to
you have
go-
this
and
sort of
it's so
information
sad.
about you, and you're like,
And you
man,
find, like, I remember there was one person who was, like, so adamant on dragging me. Then, you know, you do a dig on him and discover, like, oh, he's grade 12, he had to rewrite a couple of times. And
and you're like,
and you know, it's sort of like, I think that was the evolutionary point for me where people even ask me, like, you no longer fight. And I'm like, you know, nowadays I feel sorry for people, man.
what will I win? What will I gain at the end of the day?
I really feel so. Like, a lot of people still come at me, but it's sort of just like,
I
I
don't have-
feel so bad for you. More like,
I
you have
don't
to, like, you wake up and make it your personality to, like, come after
after
one
a person.
every day and, like,
It's not right.
like
man. It's not
what's
right.
not going right for you in your life that
That
can
you have
send
to
you
wake
like
up-
invest in someone's life? Now it's so crazy. Like there was even a recent one where someone dug up a tweet from like 2022.
Trying
Like,
to
just
make it.
yeah, it's like to bring it up and like so that everyone get like yeah, and it's sort of like bro,
That's a lot, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
do you
so,
know?
like, what-
Do you know how much skips you have to go on a page to go as fast?
no, like
2022.
it's so crazy to even think because you can bookmark these things like to have a tweet bookmarked to
From-
say from another like you've saved a tweet from another man to come talk about the man in future.
Bro, you're gay.
And it's sort of like, but it's just
yes,
okay.
yes.
But yeah, just right. But it's sort of like
We will not
I
condemn
was,
it.
and you know, I almost found myself like going back to the person I used to be like ready to engage and shout. But I sat down, I'm like, man, you have to be sad, you know.
Yeah.
And you dig into like the person's life and you discover so much, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I just want to give you a hug, bro. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, man, you're not really.
Like,
It's not,
are you
it's not,
good?
it's not really that deep for
Are
you
you
to be able
good?
to do that stuff.
Yeah, and it's sort of like when you discover that and you're like, you start learning to have like sympathy for bitter people, and that's where I've reached.
Hey, man, that's
you
a
know,
really,
because
that's
if
a
I've
really, that's a
never-
really good turn,
yeah,
like in terms of
yeah.
how you like to
Like
handle
how
such
I handled
situations, yeah.
situations now, it's like I no longer, and also just giving people the attention they want. When someone comes at you, they want to get a rise out of you, and it's not for me where you get that satisfaction.
True.
I've become very good at ignoring. Like I'll
That's a skill, though.
Yeah,
I feel that's a skill.
it
That's
is a
really
skill, and
good
it
skill that you
helps
need to
even
have.
like in the real world when someone's like, no one can agitate me even in a workplace now.
Ah,
It's
okay.
sort of like
That's cool.
Everyone is like someone who come at you, and just like, and I'm so calm, bro. Like I have no energy. I learned to like let go of a lot of things and deal with a lot of things on my own. So that now I have room to understand other people,
Okay.
even when they don't deserve to be understood. You know, sometimes you have to do these things for like your own peace,
True.
for your own
true,
peace.
true.
Because imagine a life of going back and forth with people, bro. Like
It doesn't even just
every
make sense
day you're
anymore, man.
fighting. Now I add people to the list of fighting with Zesco and the economy and
And then I
MTN
add
network,
you.
and I add you.
Ah. MTN today, how man do
Ah,
we
no,
have?
it's actually really bad.
I feel that's bad.
So that's sort of how I handle things. Like I usually see, you know, it's crazy on social media. You'd think people are your friends and they aren't really your friends, and that's been one of like my biggest discovery points. So even when I do see like someone shows me like this person you thought was your friend was talking about you like this, it's no longer something even shocking. It's like at the end of the day, bro. I don't know, for Paul game, I just look at people like NPCs now, bro. Like you're just a non-playable character in my life. Like you have you're not
no
I mean,
impact in my life.
like
man,
you have no impact whatsoever, bro.
like, bro, yeah, you think you're part of the team, but
yeah,
you're
you're
not.
just a proper NPC. So
Yeah.
that's really been how it's been for me on Twitter. So I'm just hoping, like not just Twitter, like everything aside, now that I'm finally getting through my wildest hurdle, which has been CBU. Don't take your kids there.
No, seriously,
Like,
no, seriously, do not,
don't.
do not. No, we're joking, but no, please don't.
Don't. But yeah, so it's sort of like now that I'm getting through that hurdle, I can focus on the things I love again. Because and it's not even about, I don't see like things like activism, for example, and that's why I've never taken it on as like a full career, like a full path, because I don't think that's a career. It's just very good to help people sometimes, you know, like just
True,
to help
true.
people just out of like the goodness of your heart. And that's why I sort of put my degree first, because I know if this can be my source of income,
Then
I
you
don't
can.
want to like use, you know, because activism it's based on people suffering. Unfortunately, people who can't afford food, people who've been abused, you know, and so on. So like to profit off of that is absolutely like
Man,
that's a
that's
concept I've
inhumane,
never,
man.
you know,
Yeah, like,
that's a
why would you,
concept I've
why would you
never
want to
managed
profit
to
over
fathom.
somebody's suffering? man?
Yeah, and that's why I've always said I want to establish myself while making money on my
On
own. So that
while you're
even when
trying
I'm
to.
helping people, I even maybe
It
I have
looks.
something from
It's
me.
actually
It's
genuine from your heart.
from my
Like you're
heart.
like,
Like I
you're getting
really
your.
just want to help these people. You know, where I have constraints now. That's why we say, you know, even when I'm doing like a fundraising venture for a certain cause, I know all that money I'll give it to the cause because I have my own thing going on for
It's
me,
not
bro.
where you do a venture. You want
Yeah.
a percentage from that venture.
You know, you
then
want a
what?
percentage from it, and
It doesn't
like
make sense, man.
and sort of like, and that's the thing that I learned to understand. You know, when I was in my early 20s, I thought this is something I could do on its own. But now it's something where I realized growing up, I'm like, and seeing it actually when you're in the activism space, that a lot of people are in it. If it isn't for like the praise, you know, people like to be praised. It's helping so many people. What a night, you know, and it's not for
I
me. It's
don't know.
never
I don't know.
really.
It's crazy.
It's never. It's like I don't know what they call it, a hero complex, something like that. You know, where you just want to be like, you want to swoop in and save anyone. It's sort of like,
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
even
Some
trying to
yeah,
save you. You
some
know, like
things,
I just
man.
want
It's not
some people, like let's just help people
just
be
help
okay.
people. You don't have to
from
always.
the
You don't have to get like a satisfaction of
exactly
praise from
that's and that's the
that.
word. Like people want, you know, like the praise and the satisfaction
Oh
and to
no,
look like,
he
oh, I've
helped
done
him to
all
do
this.
that,
I've
man.
helped.
And it's no, like help
Just help
and
from
look
the goodness of your heart.
help and look
That's
the other
it.
way. That's
And
all.
that's the one thing and that's why like I just said I'll take a break. People will take it however they want, but I have to focus on myself and get this out of the way. So like
Just so that you can
once I
just
proper start doing this,
gain it 100%.
I'm doing it like for the right reasons, 100%, and like not to make money off of it. You know. Yeah, so that's really been it. That was like my journey through Twitter. It's sort of, yeah, wrapping that up.
Okay, so that's
We're about to reach the 30-minute mark.
30-minute mark.
Ah, okay, calm. That's cool.
That
That's
is
cool.
cool. We will go on a break. We are shooting from Central Studios here in Parklands. What's the
Opposite Parkland Secondary School.
opposite Parkland Secondary School?
Last.
Where we do marketing for you. We also do branding. That's more things you put on your car if you want to sell it. That's what happened last time. Yeah, that's what happened.
The way I'm putting it.
It was
Yeah,
actually
like
small scale branding. That's what you said last time. You're like, it
You
was,
want to put in your car.
yes,
Last.
if you want to put on your car, eh? Yeah, okay, that's how it's shaped. You
Like
can
a
shape
radio.
it. Hey, you can shape it any way you want. But you know, they do branding, they do marketing for you. So please do come here in the studio. If you also want to do your podcasts, audio, video, if you want to do shoots, you still come here. What else, Papado?
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Last.
All right, we are back. It's not part 2. No, you are not crazy. We just cut because Mapalo's film is only up to 30 minutes for some reason.
Yeah.
Please help us get more film because we are broke and we cannot do 30-minute cuts.
Real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ish. Not my boss calling me on a podcast. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
But I will pick that later.
Must
Sorry,
be nice.
sir.
My
Yeah,
boss
yeah.
goes, I'm sorry, I'm walking out.
No, man. He's calm. He's calm.
Yeah.
He's able to allow certain things to go, so he knows.
Yeah.
Can I pick it up? And
Yeah,
just pick it up. 'Cause,
definitely.
hello. Hello. Yes, sir. Okay. Which one? Oh, you caught. Yeah, okay. Yes, you caught her. Uh huh. Okay. Then I'd have to get in touch with Tapua. Then I'll ask her. Can you just give me maybe like good 30 minutes? I'm saying that can you just give me a good 30, 20 minutes? I'll get in touch with her. Or is it an emergency? They want to see it like Nangulelo, or we can schedule another day. 17 hours. Okay. Oh, okay. No, let me try and see if we can schedule the view today. All right, let me do it. You in the office? Scott. Okay. Wait, did you put that on? Is that on? Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, it can still be there, man.
But
People, people should know that this boy is in formal employment. But anyway, we're now segueing into men's mental health.
Yeah.
It's a topic we've talked about even in previous the previous season. I think we had like 2 episodes on it. We talked about it on one episode
Yeah.
casually. Then we
Casually,
had
yeah.
one Mapalo with our guest Niza. Yeah, with our guest Niza. Please do check it out. It's episode 21. Very insightful. Yeah, like we really talked about it like in depth. Mapalo's crying. Mapalo's in his fields. It was mad.
Nah,
It's
I think-
Mapalo like you've never seen him. You've never seen him before.
I think
The thing is, that's my fellow 24/7.
ready to cry?
At Mapalo always,
Yeah,
always in
nah,
his
for real.
fields. At Mapalo always in his fields.
I think that's okay, and even that you've talked about it multiple times for me is okay because it's like I feel like it's a topic that needs to keep being
Keeping
talked
talked
about.
about. Like,
until
you know,
it like sticks.
I don't understand. Sorry, I don't. It's not an attack on like the other gender, but I don't like it when a lady goes like "Udimome."
I think
That's a very
I think I
like
don't
this
like
is 2024. You don't
yeah.
look. I get that people that genuinely say that
Yeah.
because to them, of course, they are maybe you can't say they're not knowledgeable, but maybe
Yeah.
they're just not haven't been exposed enough to know
Enough
that
to-
you know that
yeah.
men's mental health is actually a real problem.
Yeah.
So when a comment like Udimome comes about, be like, really?
You know, I hate like you said, like I hate it as a general statement, like even from I hate it more from men ourselves, man, because it's sort of like
You
we
know
don't
what?
we don't give each other grace, man. Like if anyone should understand what we go through,
It's
it's
you.
us.
Yeah, it's you, man.
You know, it's like we have to understand each other more. So it's sort of like when someone's on it, I don't know. I feel like it starts from when you talk about mental health in general, maybe people don't really know what mental health is. So it's like the same way we have physical health, right? I am good, I'm all right, I'm not sick of anything. Like it's the same with your mind, you know? That's basically what mental health is. Like how healthy is your mind? Are you okay? Are you depressed? Do you have anxiety? Do you have a learning disorder? Are you schizophrenic? And so it's a wide range, right? But maybe just for the sake of this topic, we'll sort of narrow it down to depression and anxiety.
True.
Then yeah. So
So in your words, what do you think anxiety is?
anxiety is the fear of something that hasn't yet happened. It's like you're living through your worst fear, but it hasn't happened.
Okay.
That's basically what anxiety is. So like you can be scared. Let me give you a basic example, right? That anyone can understand. So if you're going to write a test
Cool.
and you know it's a crazy hard test, you know the lecturer is like he's tapped, he's not normal. It's
Wow.
it's sort of like
People that understand that, wow.
So you start thinking you're like you start thinking of the worst case scenario. I'm going to fail this test. I'm going to fail this test. Then it changes. So you're saying I'm going to fail this test, then your mind interprets it as I failed this test.
Then already you're
Then
going
now
in it.
that's what anxiety is. Now you start living in the moment like you've already failed the
It's like you're
test.
just going there to like
But you
fulfill the
still have
picture.
like a couple of days to study for the test. So that's now what makes you. So now you're already in your head. It's like I've already failed.
And
And that's
already,
now
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
anxiety.
true,
Now
true, true.
that's anxiety. So it's like, it's even if I go right, I failed. That's what anxiety is. It's just you putting the worst case scenario, a future worst case scenario in present
In
tense.
present tense, and then you
Yeah.
are already, like you said, you're already trained, you're already like
Yeah.
low key living in it,
Yeah.
and you've convinced yourself to say, hey man, it's going like whatever situation is going this way,
It's going this way.
and it can't change whether you want to or not. It's
Yeah,
going,
it's
it's
going
only going that
in
way.
that exact direction. So it's sort of that's basically what anxiety is. Then like when you talk about depression, man, I think
now,
everyone
now
has
that's
felt-
the
yeah,
granddaddy
that's
of
the
mental
killer-
health, man.
That's the
Yo.
killer. I think it's bad when they
It
like,
is. Depression, guys.
yeah, and I think it only,
It's
like,
real.
It's real, and it gets worse when like these things behave like when they behave like wrestlers. Then they tag team you like anxiety and depression.
Man, that's Undertaker and Kane, man.
You know what I mean? Our
Yo.
brothers of destruction, and they come towards you.
Mad,
So
mad,
it's actually like, bro, it's so crazy. And now, especially because in the advent of it, when we look at a Zambian context, water.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you sort of look at it, it's like we're Zambia, right?
Yeah.
Love Zambia. But we're a developing country.
Yeah, we've been
So,
developing for
yeah,
the longest
for
time,
quite
so.
some time. So when we talk about things like mental health, this is still quite new to us. It's a new thing to like digest. It's more commonly known now amongst maybe Gen Zs, but that's like 1997 and above. We still have the people who come before, because even amongst maybe millennials, for example, it's not as
It's not
understood
it's not understood, and it's not a topic people are willing
to like address.
because I think for me,
Yeah.
I feel it's a fear of being looked down on.
Yeah.
I feel, especially coming from a traditional home.
Mm.
By traditional home, I mean everybody's there. You're taught cultural values, their norms, and this,
Yeah.
there's that. You're put into a system where you don't do this, you don't do that. That's what I
yeah.
mean by a traditional home. So you are taught a man is this.
Yeah,
A man
oh,
must
man,
be a
yeah.
provider. A man must show no fear. A man must not look like he doesn't have things figured out. You must
Yeah.
have a plan. You
A
must
plan.
have all these things.
Definitely, yeah.
But
yeah.
what happens when you take when you take everything that he's supposed to do out of the picture? He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't know what to do. He is scared. He is fearful.
Yeah.
He is anxious. He is all these things that a normal human being should go through.
Yeah.
You're going through those things. Why should you be afraid of
yeah.
putting it out there? Because
Right.
quite all right, you've been brought up, say, man, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to be those things. But what happens when you are those things?
Yeah.
How am I going to recover from that?
And
You see?
and I think just to piggyback off that, I think what's the craziest part is usually as men, this is something that like you probably haven't even realized that the only emotions that men are allowed to have are anger and happiness. We're not taught to process everything in between, and I think that's what, when we talk about things like the male suicide rate being high, for example, right? It's very high in all
very, very high,
countries,
yeah.
right? That's something, and it's I think I really bring it down to, even when I notice from my lived experiences with like having a lot of male friends, is that we don't know how to process emotions. I didn't know how to process emotions a long time if they aren't happy
Neither did I.
or they aren't angry.
Neither did
And what happens is that if you don't know how to do that, you sort of transpose all those, like you take all those emotions and all of it comes out as anger all the time.
All the time.
You're sad, angry. You're depressed, angry. You're anxious, angry. You know?
And it's never processed in a way you actually need to process it.
Yeah.
True.
Because it's sort of difficult. Because if you're sad, like, boy, if you're sad, you need to cry, bro.
and I will agree. Of course, I try not to subscribe to crying because I always hate the idea, because of course they say you cry at people's funerals and stuff, and then when that happens, it's like uncontrollable cry because you've been holding so much back. And sometimes I do envy people that do cry. Like at least, man, you let it out.
You've let it out.
Wait,
Exactly.
some of us, man, it's like so hardwired. even if it's like it's so sad.
Yeah.
I just won't cry.
Exactly.
It's like it's so hardwired in my brain. Like, look, shit's wild.
Mhm.
Here, man, there's nothing you can do. God forbid, you're in an accident or something, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. Of course, you can't cry in an
Yeah.
accident, but man, like nothing has just gone right in the situation leading to that. Of course, you'd have to just
You have to.
eject yourself off.
Yeah.
Maybe cry it to just get it all out, try to whatever, and come back into a situation.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't cry when you get into an accident. Don't cry. But what I'm saying is, when you're in a situation
Yeah.
and you need to back yourself up and cry,
Yeah.
man, please.
You just have to. Because it's sort of like, another I was telling people, bro, if men weren't made to cry, I feel like we wouldn't be like wired like this. Like we wouldn't be able to cry. Like you can't have this function if you're not supposed to be able to like use this function.
True.
You
true.
know?
I mean, then why is
It's
it there?
It's there for a reason.
there
like
for
you
a
should be
reason.
able to. So, and I think it's because they're even the problems that we justify, even as amongst men, we make it okay in some instances and not okay in others, but then we forget that there are different reactions different people have to different situations. I think we try to group ourselves as one thing as men, and that's where we sort of get it wrong,
That's
because
why we kind of make we
because
kind, we kind of
yeah
branch off into
Yeah.
how we need to actually.
yeah, because it's like we're being raised in like a box. So it's sort of like now leaving that, like, and the thing is, it's just not possible to be in a box.
It's
if you're
not.
human
It's
beings.
not. It's not. It's
We're
not.
just too different, and like we have to learn to embrace the differences. So I think that's the thing. Even with us men, we don't know how to embrace, because we'll try to. Like there's so much shame attached to it, bro. Like
It
feeling
is, especially
emotions.
feeling emotions.
Yeah, it's sort of like
I mean,
there's so much,
there's literally a why in your fuse, bro. There's literally a term for that.
and
you
it's
know?
like, bro, what do you mean, bro? Like,
Come
like,
on.
I'm going through something.
going
Of
through
course, I'm going to
something.
be in my feels about it.
Exactly.
And it's sort of, I feel like that's why even before I touch on like the women's aspect on it, I always say like even us men, we have to be better to each other. We have to be better. Like even
No,
when you
true,
think
true,
about
true,
like
true,
you
true.
with your bros, are you that space? Like, can your bro come tell you,
Hey man,
I
I'm
can't
going
lie,
through.
bro, I'm going through this.
I'm going through this, man.
Like I'm going in like a healthy situation. It's not last. The thing with
True,
us is
true,
that we sort
true.
of come up with very unhealthy coping mechanisms, bro. And now people end up with like alcoholism
Man,
and
you are
drug
just
abuse.
that's literally all that
like-
goes up.
And I think this is like a Zambian problem in general, because I'll call it Zambian because all I know is Zambian, right? We try to ignore things until they go away. But
I don't like that being a
and it's a
being
thing.
a thing.
Yeah, and it's a thing.
It's
and
a
that's
thing. Again,
frustrating.
hardwired in your brain.
Yeah.
You're like, if you ignore it enough,
It's going
it
to
will
go away. And it's just like just
It
certain
won't.
things
I
that
mean,
you have
look,
to
bro,
face.
you're going to go drink, yeah? You
Yeah.
go out, you drink, you waste your head off.
Yeah.
Tomorrow that problem's not going
It's
away.
not going away, bro.
It's not going away.
not
What's
going
just going to happen is, for those hours that you drank quite alright, you forgot about it. The next
Yeah.
day to come back and to hit you probably even twice as much, because like,
And that's the
man, then
thing.
why did I even drink if this thing is still here?
It's still there. And that's just how it, and that's one thing I like realized, because growing up I didn't know how to, I was faced with so much grief. When I was like, I feel like the peak of emotions are like your teens. So I'm still in my teens and I'm faced with so much grief I don't really know how to process. I don't know how to deal with these feelings. I've always been someone who's very, as compared to other people, very in tune with my emotion, very in touch
Okay.
with my emotional side. Like I know how to, and I think this is what I always encourage like most men. Knowing your emotions doesn't make you weak. If anything, it makes you stronger. Your body is a system. Your emotions are part of the system. So you know how systems work. Everything works together to achieve a common goal.
Definitely. If you want to say you're in like peak health condition,
Yeah.
everything has to work. So it's
Everything
not
you
just the
can-
physical, even
Yeah.
your mental has to be.
Your mental has
in
to be
check.
there. Your emotions have to be there. Like everything has to like work together. So your mental contributes to your physical. Your physical contributes to your emotional. Everything is like, for me, everything is a system.
True.
Right? So you have to make sure every part of the system is working, okay.
yeah.
So you have to be like in touch, because the thing with emotions, until you process them, you won't be okay.
I know you won't.
You won't be okay.
And I think-
like, yeah.
I think for me, how I kind of sort of see situations are like, if I'm handling something, maybe grief or something, is
Yeah.
it's first, and you sort of like accept
Yeah.
this thing is there.
Yeah.
Whatever has happened has happened.
Yeah.
Be at peace with it. Be at
Yeah.
peace with it. Analyze it. Is it your fault?
Yeah.
If it's your fault, man, what could you do better?
What could you do better? Yeah.
In that instance, if you can change it,
Yeah. then change it.
then change it.
Yeah.
But then if you can't, it is beyond your control.
And you accept
Just
it.
accept it.
That, yeah.
Process it.
Yeah.
Allow it to go through you. Yes, if it means you need to cry, cry. If
Cry,
it means you
yeah.
need to be angry, be angry. If
Be
you need
angry,
to
yeah.
be sulky about it, let it be. But of course, maybe the other fear is, some people, because they can't control their emotions, they lash out.
Yeah.
They can't control it. They can't control themselves. So they'll normally be like very
They'll
enclosed
just, yeah,
into it. So
close,
they'll
yeah.
try to put it here and there. So it's very different, like you said.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. Everyone
Yeah.
is different. Not everyone can process the emotions the way you process it.
Yeah.
But it's easy to know that if you have a problem, just accept it, analyze it, feel what you need to feel, let it out.
Let it out,
Once
yeah.
it's out, then I think it's easy for you now to start putting this right, that right, whatever.
Yeah.
Then
It's cool. And I think
It's
we
cool
should
like that.
stop, like, as men thinking like there's a once. I don't know how to like describe this, but I'll give an example of how me and my friends are, right? Like me and my male friends. If something bothers you, your bro must be there to. You can complain about it every day for 1 month, and your bro must be there to listen and
He must
pretend it's the first time he's listening to the problem.
and it shouldn't be a problem because
Yeah.
like you say, "Oh, Nishanya."
Yeah.
Fam. Who do you think I'm going to come and complain to?
Exactly.
Who do you think I haven't got money to go to therapy.
So
You know
we'll
what?
talk, and that's what I need people to realize, that sometimes it's not going to take a day, it's not going to take a week, it's not going to take a month,
No.
sometimes it's not even going to take a year. But take years to but never get tired of dealing.
With people's things.
Yeah, like dealing, even like you yourself, because sometimes you get scared of, but I've bothered this person with my problems. You know, like should I go back again? Like up to now I have no solution. And that's the space that me and my friends have created for ourselves, because we've noticed that there's a certain way we understand each other more as men, like amongst our circle. Like women are very good with emotions, right? I won't take it away from her. 'Cause,
man. I mean, it's because they have been put through like a segue of how to deal with their emotions.
Yeah.
Over time, they know
They've-
said,
yeah.
look, you can cry, you can do this, you
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
that. Make it, put it aside.
So like they
Face
sort
forward.
of know how to guide, but they sometimes I've noticed that there's a certain thing that you just need, like from your friends around you, from the men around you. Because one thing that me and my friends do is that we want to create a space where anything that we should be able to open up to each other about, like anything. And that's been like, I was so depressed maybe from the year 2017, 2018, 19, until like I created this circle of friends I have now. Literally saved my life. If all these things I had been going through part-time, feeling dumb, all the hate I was getting, like if I didn't have this circle of friends to go to, bro, I don't even know what would have happened. Because they'll just be there and say, bro, we know you. And you are what these people are saying about you. These people are calling you dumb, bro. They don't even know you.
They don't even know you like that. Yeah.
Like, bro, like, these, like, and having that circle of friends sort of like shake me back to reality and not get lost.
Hey man, those are the
in
real
the
ones,
world,
man. Those
bro.
are the real ones, man. Those are the real
Bro,
ones.
that's been like, and I also have like wholesome, like I have very wholesome relationships also with like my female friends, right? But the sort of connections that we create with like my male friends, because you can explain a certain emotion and you understand it, from virtue of,
He won't make you feel shittier than you already are.
yeah, because it's like from virtue of, wow, like unfortunately we're still raised in a sort of box. So because we all know what it's been like to be in that box, and we're now like all trying to break out from that box, it's easier to like understand where your friend is coming from. And that's, bro, there's no substitute for that, man. Like there's no substitute for having like such friends around you who even push you to say, with my friends, we're so open because we even say, okay, bro, here where you've reached, like I feel like we've reached our end. Like we're still here to listen to you and whatnot, but it's important here maybe to bring in a counselor or a therapist.
It's like
And
the fact,
that's-
the fact that they're actually acknowledging them, and this could actually be a very serious problem. You kind of need a counselor and a therapist. I hate the fact that in universities, where I feel is the best places these people should be. I mean, that's employment creation, man. These people that go to school for psychotherapy, psychotherapy, or it's not physiology. What was it called?
All those, bro.
Yes,
Like
those
just the
type of, yes.
psychotherapy, the psychiatry.
Yes,
Yeah.
those guys are wasting themselves in funny places where they're not really doing anything. When the serious issues are in universities.
Yeah.
Bar CBU and UNZA. I mean,
Yeah.
there's Kuba and all
There's
these
so
other
many
guys.
colleges
There's
and
so many colleges
universities, and
that
we all go
need,
through it.
and
Yeah.
these places need these counselors.
Yeah.
They seriously need them,
Yeah.
and they should be able to create a space as the university. Look, the time they're doing those orientations for they take
The first
you,
years,
they take you Bangla, they do what? P1, guys. This university, safe space.
Yeah.
Counselor is
There,
there.
exactly.
That man should be your best friend.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
best friend also should be knowledgeable enough to say, hey man, I should
Exactly.
be able to accommodate everybody. And it should,
And I feel like it shouldn't even just be like a person. I feel like counseling and therapy in general, like even in universities, should be more of bro, it's like, you know how we have like school of business, school of engineering. That's what I need for counseling. Like multiple counselors and therapists would be amazing in like universities and colleges, because bro, they don't know what we be going through. Like they really don't know. And even just bringing it to the context of like men again, like bringing it back to like men's mental health. You know, it's so university in general, and like, you know, it's so crazy that majority of our like important life decisions we make in our early 20s.
university. In university. It's not,
You know?
it's not just your love life. It's not
It's-
your financial
bro, it's-
discipline.
it's
It's
everything.
not just your skill learning.
Yeah.
All these things are done at that level.
Yeah.
At that level. And if you get it wrong, of course, not that it will go
Yeah.
wrong, your life
Yeah.
is shit. No, like it will still go right.
Yeah.
But if you don't get certain stuff right then,
Mhm.
man, it's difficult.
It's difficult, man.
I
'Cause,
mean, that's
like,
why I'm now having man children all over the place, man.
exactly, bro. It's sort of like so it's there's so much guidance that's needed from even like from an early age for people who have mental, like from just teaching people that it's okay, because now from the time you're young, you know, you're a boy. That's why I do have like a bit of problems with how we're raised as Zambians, because it's like from the time you're a small boy, it's like you're being told you're a man, you're a man, you're a man.
From the
Like,
get
from
go,
the
my
get
guy.
go, you know, it's sort of like, and I always, it's like, you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, you're a man. Like sometimes you need to give people time to be a kid, bro. Like give him time to be
Let
like, a
him
boy.
be who he needs to
Like
be,
let him
man.
be a boy. The rest to figure it out like in French, you know.
Of
They
course,
should be like
in your confines. Of
yeah, like of course, bro.
Yeah,
like
because,
confines, you can't allow a child to raise themselves. It's crazy. That's especially a boy. That's crazy. But like, you know, they should
Because
still
boys
have,
are problems.
Yeah, boys are problems.
problems.
But like, you shouldn't start raising them like as a man while they are still, you know.
And
a
although
boy.
I do feel some people are thrown really in the deep end because you know
'cause of
maybe circumstances. I mean, the father dies, they kind of have to mature up, and then
Yeah.
those are people that actually now have
Yeah.
other problems because now they have had to fast track their growth
life,
to
yeah.
be men quite early. They haven't had time to be boys. Man, they be having issues too. And those are people that kind of need, all those types of people
Yeah,
need help.
they need
you know?
help, yeah.
They need help.
So it's like it starts from for me it starts from a section where it's ourselves as like boys and men, and now like all of us in here are men, right? So now if I ask like,
Papa is still a boy.
yeah, my apologies,
I mean, pink socks and all.
our very own caramel apple,
Ca-
but but it's sort of like I usually sit and ask myself, what am I doing for like the young boys in my family? Like, am I making sure they don't have to go through what I'm going through? And it sort of starts from there. It starts from the smallest. And I always say, like, social change is the biggest driver. If we can change how we think, it's very easy to now change it for it to like translate into policies and these centers we're talking about, because everyone will have this single like-mindedness that, oh, you know, men's mental health matters. And it always starts from like ourselves as men. And I always tell I always tell men, like, you know, these are topics we should have. Have you seen how we've had this topic like away from everything? We haven't talked about like women. It's our topic.
It's just us.
It's us men
And
talking about this issue.
look, I don't understand this. You know, there's this meme where like, what do men talk about when they're not with men? What do men talk about when they're not with women? They'll be like, man, all they think about is just women. Sometimes we are just not talking about you.
Yeah.
We're just it's discussions like this that
Yeah.
you want to have
Yeah, exactly.
with a friend, and
normalize
you
them,
can't
yeah.
have them in maybe in certain circles because even they are still dealing with it.
Yeah.
I sometimes don't blame certain people. Like you'll be like, no, this is or for lack of a better, it's a mean person.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he doesn't want to. He doesn't like talking about your mental health.
Yeah.
he's maybe not talking about because he's scared.
And it hits close, bro.
And it hits close. He's scared if he opens up, it will be bad. It
Yeah,
will be
and
bad.
talking
He'll-
about it, like I'm sure everyone in this room can attest to the fact that you've had a bad experience from opening up. We all have.
Exactly, and
there's
it's-
no one
it's
who's
not
opening
nice.
up has always gone, like, like you've been stigmatized at one point. Like you've never had that, bro. Like where like the opening up, maybe you've opened up to maybe a wrong person, or like you've opened up to someone and they've made you like feel
Feel
worse about
so
the
worse.
situation.
You no, this
Shine.
no, you haven't. Who are you talking to?
Like,
Angel Gabriel?
yeah.
There are people, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm
Yeah,
making
no,
you feel
like,
safe. I have had,
bro.
and these are people that are quite close to me. It's not just family and whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I was going through. I won't mention names.
Yeah.
And they probably won't even see this.
Yeah.
It was a bad time.
Yeah.
I've just gotten certain news.
Mm.
It wasn't good news.
Yeah.
And I told this person, I'm like, yo, this is what's going down. And you know, the first comment was, okay, then what? You can't handle that.
You know?
Back to what you said. It's men only know two emotions. It's laughter and anger. Man,
Okay,
all that
yeah.
took me was the laughter went away. It was just
Anger.
It was just okay. It was just anger. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, why did I even?
Why did I speak?
Why did I even? I should have just kept this to
quiet.
my and just maybe told somebody else. And then everyone that I kept telling about, but man, that was wrong.
Yeah.
That was wrong of them to actually
Yeah.
ignore what you did.
Yeah.
But then again, brings me back to what I said. Some people just
They
don't
just
know
don't
how
know,
to
and that's the
process
thing.
emotions, and they don't know it. And sometimes they kind of just give people leeway. It's not cool to ignore people when they actually want to tell you something about it. The worst thing you could have is where you could have helped somebody and then, God forbid, they commit suicide.
Yeah.
And now you're here ranting, oh no, I was the last person, I wish you could help. Yeah. Now look at you. You feel horrible about it because you could have helped and you,
You
had
could
a
have
chance.
helped, yeah, definitely. Like at least, just be there for a person, It's very important to be, and this is one thing I've really learned, yeah. And that's what I was saying, like people are different. Different things affect us in different ways. I don't downplay anyone's problems. Like if one of my friends comes and talks about this, and for me, if I'm like, if this happened to me, I wouldn't really care,
But that's you.
Yeah,
you know?
but like that's me, and I'm like, that's him.
For him, it's serious. For him to
And I
come out
started,
with.
yeah, and I started asking a very the most important question you need to ask now is why, before you think of like anything else. And someone brings this, and to when the person brings this and it looks like a small problem to you, you have to. My first thought process now, and I'm so happy about this, is like, where does this come from? Like, what's the root of this? What makes you feel this way? What makes you go through this? There's certain things we see that we fail to understand. Maybe while we're looking like, oh, horrible example, but it's sort of like, oh, why does he keep going to her after she treats him like this? She says this to him, she does this to him. And you
Very
look
good
at
point.
it and you start, then now he comes and he opens up to you and is like, oh, at home, my parents, this and this. Then now you start to notice a pattern, like, that's why he goes back. And now something that looked very surface level, you've now dug deep and you're like, oh.
Because you're asking a very simple question, like, but why you it's all the time that you
Yeah.
do. Why? But when you get to the root cause of everything, you're like,
Mhm.
this makes sense.
Yeah, and
And
that's
so
the
now
thing.
it's not as fun as you thought it was.
Yeah, now it's like,
When guys will cheap over, you don't say, we can get on in.
Yeah.
Now when you look at it and you put all the pieces together, oh God, this is a serious problem. If
And
this is
that's
not
just-
if he doesn't tackle it or he doesn't see this is the problem,
Yeah.
then to mess him up.
and that's
It will mess
that's
somebody
that's
up.
a route that I always take even with my friends now. It's sort of like, if you're feeling this way, my first question is, no, my first thing is like, okay, I hear where you're coming from. When did this start, or when did you start feeling this way? Then we sort of we take it like a journey now. Let's go step by step so that we can figure out, oh, so this is the root of the problem. It comes from here. So how do we handle this? We'll handle it like this, like this, like this. Will it happen today? No. Tomorrow? No. Next week? No. But I'll be here with you throughout. And in a nutshell, that's what we need as men, for men's mental health. We just need to be able to carry each other and be there for each other.
Is it exactly time?
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Putukakali.
Yeah, that's the number.
Okay. We are going on another break. We are sponsored by my Palos Pink Socks.
Last.
Who has said it now to call Madam? Like, why are people calling me today? I
Let's
don't
get focused.
For some reason, eh? Bad habits. No, I'll pick up. Sorry, babe. I'll pick up the phone when I'm done. I know you'll see this. But anyway, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for real, sorry. Right. All right. Back to the topic of men's mental health.
Yeah.
Just to sort of maybe conclude this little segue of ours, how do you maybe just like a personal experience
Yeah.
from your personal experience? How do you handle yourself when you're in a when you get bad news? When you get bad news, when you're in a bad situation, how do you handle how do you handle simple situations that involve maybe a constraint on your
Yeah.
mind? Like how do you handle that?
I think like
Is
if
it fine?
it's
Is it fine now? Is it great? Like how here?
How many times
Wait. Okay, wait. Is it fine now? Is it fine? A bit like this side. Apple. I didn't. Okay, this is fine now. Okay, but I was audible the whole time, right?
you're audible, but you are moving. That's the
Man, I like to move it, move it.
move
You
it,
know
move
me.
it.
question.
Slow. I think how
Eh.
do I process this? I think now that I'm like a little older, it's sort of like but I've learned how to like feel the emotions. For me, when something happens, yeah, I need to feel it right away before I can like think about it and process what these emotions mean. Like something horrible happens, like I
Okay.
just need to sit down. I've learned to give myself grace.
Okay.
Like I'm like, okay, this is a very hard emotion to feel. So I'll like when I'm feeling something very deep, I don't really call it isolation, like I'll still be talking, but like mentally I'll sort of like
Zone out.
as I figure it out and just sit down, take a nap and do whatever I have to like do
I
that.
don't
Then after
know.
that it's sort of
Do
like
I have the energy to sleep?
I know when I'm going through it, I can't like I sleep. Yo, when
Really?
I have to sleep. But if it's something that's very deep, like
I kinda stay awake
yeah,
though. I kinda stay
like
awake.
earlier this year when I had like real problems, I had like insomnia. I used to fail to sleep a lot.
I have that problem even
Yeah,
till
like I
day.
discover my body has different reactions, like different. Because when I had these certain anxieties, there were points where I couldn't even like eat, and that's because I was like refusing to process certain things or make sense out of them. So that's when I was like, nah. So now I just make sure that when it comes,
Mhm.
first and foremost, I try not to be ashamed of my emotions, right? Because I got taught to be like coming up, like the unguided teaching is that you should be ashamed when you're sad or feeling
Quickly
anything
ignore it
else.
so that
Yeah.
you are not
Yeah,
processing that you're
yeah.
sad.
So now it's just like I don't ignore it. I'm like, this has happened and it's pain,
You just
and
need to process it.
and it's like people even laugh now. They're like, but you get over things fast. I'm like, I cried 2 days. When I finish
only-
crying, it's time to
yes,
move.
time to move. We move.
Yeah,
We move, man.
and
We
you know,
move.
it's not like the 2 days for me is like it's theoretical. It's like it's just a figure of speech for me. It's not always 2 days. Sometimes it's longer. But what I mean by that is that I feel the emotion when I have to feel the emotion, and I process it when I have to process it. Then I ask myself, okay, this is it. What am I going to do about this? Is this within my control? Cool. Is it not in my control? There's nothing I can do. Cool. Then I'll have to like so when you figure out, I think what one thing people never talk about is what to do when something is not in your control.
True, true,
You have
true,
to
true, true.
so what you have to do when something is not in your control is that you have to accept it.
Accept it.
And that's the wildest process because sometimes I think we want as men to be superheroes.
When you really,
When
it's like some
really,
like, bro,
yeah.
look. Yeah, Batman. Everyone's Batman.
Yeah, really.
And you really just need to be able to just let that bullet hit you.
Yep. And
Let it
just
hurt, then get healed.
yeah, then now you can go for surgery
That's all,
afterwards. And
that's all.
that's my thing. So I just sit down and say, okay, there's really nothing I can do. Let me accept that there's nothing I can do. Because sometimes even when you realize there's nothing you can do, you still try to come up with solutions for a problem that is out of your control.
True.
So when you accept that that thing is something that you can't control, and now that you just have to like leave it to whatever deity you believe in, and you just have to move and you have to learn to live with that afterwards. So it's sort of like you accept and you learn to live with it, and over time the humans are like a creature of habit, so over time it even becomes normal. And that's definitely how like I now process things. It's really helped me a lot because now I no longer find, I think I've really, and I was realizing this year. I'm like, when did I stop being like very depressed because like now the way I process things, the way I handle things is so different. When did I become like this? And
I
that's
think
when I really
because
said,
the
yeah,
older you get and the more you start to take care of yourself, like you said,
yeah,
take care of your mind, your body is actually
Mm.
in good. So because you've been able to have experiences where you ignored something
yeah,
and it hit you so much that now it just put you
yeah,
shut you off and shut you down. So
definitely.
at least
And
you have
another
to.
like a physical game changer for me has been like really like investing in sports, like something physical
What
for
do
you
you
to do,
do?
be
What
it
do you
a
do
run.
like sports?
I play football and I also go to the gym.
Okay.
So like from the I incorporated gym into my life
So
this
you're
year,
telling me
and it's like,
you like leg day?
huh?
You like leg day?
I love leg day.
I hate it. Hate
Like,
it. I tried. I know. I tried
yeah,
the whole gym life. Like at some
yeah.
point, I've never gone back. I've never gone
No,
back.
I feel you.
But I've always thought to myself, maybe one day I'll go
Yeah, go
back.
back.
It will help.
I can't lie,
Shanana."
it's been like it's a very good. There are certain
I just hate
things
leg
you have
day.
to let out physically. So for me, it's like it's either on the pitch or it's in the gym. You know?
Aren't you just out here tackling people?
No. For me, letting it
Also-
out on the pitch is like I think for me letting out is like I just want to do something that
but
makes
like,
me sweat.
do you think you have like your best matches when you're angry?
Mm.
Or when you're in it, like you're going through something? Are you
I
like
lock in, bro. Like I lock in when I'm going through it. For me, it's like let me pretend all these defenders are my enemies and I'm going to score. I'm going to dunk on my enemies. And that's usually how it is, man. It's sort of but like usually I have different sports for something. If I want to get my mind off things,
Mhm.
that's football.
Okay.
If I'm angry and I want to let it out, that's gym. Because now there are punching bags. There's the bicycle, there's leg day, there are weights.
Do not
there's
find
so
this
much.
man in the streets. He's not who you think he is.
There's so much to like let out. So that's what I usually use to like let out residue anger. I no longer because when I was young, I remember I was even like I had problems with like being violent, and I'm like I don't want this to
You?
be who I am. Yeah, everyone says that
Really?
like you. Yeah, bro, it was
Man, I'm
really,
a
it was
most
really
chilled
bad.
person,
Yeah,
man.
like nah, man, I used to like and that's the thing because all my emotions is translated to anger. So
Okay.
I was such an angry child, bro. Like it didn't take much for us to get into a fist fight when I was younger, but I was always ready. And now I've sort of grown up and I'm so composed because it's sort of
Have you
I
ever
just
found
said
yourself
it.
like in a situation like, if this was back in the day,
It-
man, you'd get it.
all the time, bro. Like even just on socials, when someone like comes at me, I always just think, bro, if this was like, and I also had to learn, like even like letting, like it's one thing for like letting physical anger go, but sometimes it remains in your heart. So I had to learn how to let that go because I also had a horrible habit of like, I would do something to you like emotionally, like I would, like, I can't really talk about those things. They hope to find out what I did. But I would
Use
like,
it.
I
Let's
would
use it
set you-
against him.
Yeah, like I would set you up, bro. Like something bad to happen to you, not even physical, but like something emotional, maybe like making sure your girlfriend cheats on you, then you find out like something like
That's
and you
despicable.
know, and I said I don't want to be this person anymore, bro.
Yeah.
And I found myself there this year where I was like, when the person frustrated me and I was like, I dug up so much information. I'm like, I'm about to end this man's career. And I sat down and I remember I had a conversation. And this is the goodness with having like friends.
Mhm.
Just like, bro, like I understand you're angry, but you worked too hard, man. Like you worked, if you do this,
Like it's
yeah, like it's like, bro, if you do this, you're him.
yeah, there's no
You're
going back
to
from
who
it.
you used to be,
Exactly,
and
there's
now,
no
like,
going
do you
back.
want to go back to who? And I'm like, slow. And that's
Leave
how I
it.
sort of just let it go. And that's the biggest thing. Now it's no longer like the physical anger gone. And I've learned how to let things like
Let
flow
things-
out of me. And it's like, and that's been very, very helpful.
True, man. True,
Yeah.
True. No, that's cool. That's cool. I like how you've employed to say it's sports. So
Yeah.
there's an encouragement to do stuff like sports.
Nah, definitely.
Talk to people about
Mhm.
it. Ask your friend if he's doing okay. You never
works-
know.
it really works
You,
hand
you
in
never
hand.
you never know what he could be going,
Going
through,
through,
and
mhm.
he might need somebody to actually talk to about. And please give people their time. Give you
Yeah.
their time. You give time to more nonsense. You could give some time
To your
like
friends,
actual
yeah, and just-
friends just
yeah.
for something.
And be open. I think that's the one thing I always tell like all my male friends. Like, bro, just be very open to listening to different like points of view from your friends in what they are going through.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Your life perspective will actually even be
Yeah,
much
be
better
much
if you
better.
actually listen
Listen
because
to other people.
you're not always right.
Yeah.
You're not always right.
And don't always want. Okay, we're wrapping up caramel apple. Well, well, like the most important thing is don't always also rush to give solutions. Listen. I think that's been the biggest thing I've learned. I was so solution oriented, but once I learned to listen, that's been my strongest. That's why people come. Like that's why I have conversations with a lot of people because I'm just able to listen. Sometimes all people need is like,
Yeah, you really need to be a
listening,
really
yeah.
good listener to be able to catch things and just
yeah, like I'm
Relate,
listening to
doctor.
Mapalo right now. I've wrapped up.
all right, so that he can continue doing what he's doing.
Mm.
Yeah, caramel apple,
Yeah,
caramel
caramel apple, caramel apple.
Should see the way he's out. He's just smiling. He's chuffed.
They've chopped.
He's done it to my lips.
That my this man put his legs like a football. They've told you that you're cute.
And so she didn't
Aye.
like you, boy. She didn't like you. She's just using you. She's just using you to come on the podcast.
Bro, I just got the message that I don't like you, man.
I know you've reached Champions League. Yeah, you've reached the I don't like you.
But I don't like you.
You've reached. As man, they've left us for 10 months, but they still tell us I don't like you. Just know you're in the champs.
But just know you're in it. You're in the semi-finals, bro. First leg. At least you're not down 3-0. But anywho, now we are shifting gears to something more joyful.
Yeah.
I wanted us to talk about the recurring theme for this season has been entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
sharing and skill set.
Mhm.
We are encouraging our listeners and just even general guests to open about what experiences they have in entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
how they've maybe gotten to where they've gotten to,
Yeah.
their experiences, how they can get better, what they could tell people out there that maybe would like to venture into what they're doing.
Yeah.
So this segment of our show is that we are asking you, hey, what stuff do you do? What do you do? Like what if it's your source of income?
Yeah.
How's it gone for you? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
Yeah.
And personal experiences. You talked about running a farm.
Yeah.
You talked about running a farm, and I'm very interested to know how that is going for you because you're pretty young, and then
Mhm, yeah.
that's no easy. That's no easy feat, man. Like
Yeah.
I've met so many people like, man, I think I just want to farm. Like, say, man, you just want to farm. You don't just wake up and want to farm. People were out here trying farming for the first time in a drought season.
In a drought, and
Man,
you
it
know,
was wild.
and that's crazy, because for us who are used to it, it's like, it's happened. You know, it's like you face so much failure, like new failure is like,
I mean, if it's not this, what's this, army worms,
Yeah.
it's the weather. If
bro.
it's not the soil, it's the rainfall.
Bro.
And then if you don't know the complexities of these things,
Yeah.
and you just want to go in because you saw your friend grew pine trees that you
Yeah.
had waited for 15 years for,
It's slow.
slow.
It's actually
Slow,
pretty
slow.
crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, please do
Yeah.
tell.
I think so. Where I live, right back in Lusaka, a lot of the places around there have farmers. Like majority of people have, like either on
Which part of Lusaka is that?
Chilanga.
Sri Lanka?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
So it's
So
either,
very funny. Sorry, I kept
Yeah.
cutting you. It's very funny how Lusaka, for all its business,
yeah,
labeled as a city, not its business, it's
yeah.
clothes and what and marketing and all this stuff
Yeah.
for the metropolitan city. A lot of people do a lot of farming that people don't know.
Don't have
And it's
that-
like outskirts, Kudakuma, 10 miles.
yeah,
Chilanga that side, Chalalaka, Newcastle that side. People are owning like serious mechanized
like,
farms that
bro,
are
like,
doing
big,
proper stuff.
Big farms, bro. Like huge farms, bro. Like it's actually crazy. I've seen center pivots where like even when there's been a drought, people are able to still like grow their things, like grow winter maize. Like that's how serious people take it. But so where I come from in Chilanga, it's like a lot of people are farmers, yeah. So because of that, it's like whenever you move there, regardless, at one point or another, you farm. People love growing crops, maize. Almost everyone either either they have a farm or they would even rent one just to like plant maize. So like I've grown up. I've said like a lot, yo. But anyway, I've grown up. I've grown up
That's
knowing
Wongo.
about farming. I've grown up knowing about farming because of seeing all this around me. Even though when it's farming season, Tengan Majombo, it's time to enter the field. Even
Someone has to plow that
Yeah.
that field.
And it was so fun, yeah. It would be like sometimes, like of course you'd hire people, but they would also be like the family side of it. So for us, we would even like plant maize together, even though.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
some
me,
good
maybe
family
I'm the
time,
one
man.
planting. My dad is the one burying. My mom was also there, also planting. My
yeah.
sisters, like the rare times, would be lucky enough to all be home at the same
At
time.
the same time, and then you'd be
Yeah,
all
then
doing
we
it
would
at the
just
same
we
time.
just take it as
Yeah,
like, yeah,
sounds really cool.
like we just join the helpers and everyone, and like now we're doing it together. So when we talk about like crops, for example, right? It's very nice. I don't remember the last time like at home we bought milimio, like
Really?
25 kg.
Oh,
We never, bro. Like we don't, like it's been years, bro.
that's so cool.
Yeah,
That's
like
cool,
it's
that's
like it's
cool,
been
that's
proper
cool.
years, because for us it's like you grow maize
Mm-hmm.
and you store the maize, so you just take it to the chigayo,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
pretty much our life, bro. Just take it to the
And
chigayo.
then you probably have like so much of it.
Yeah, like when you grow maize, like on the good. This year is the one that was like bad because everyone was getting like 0 to nothing. There's no one who had like a good
Yeah,
harvest,
good
but
harvest.
like the prior years, the previous years were pretty good because everyone, because they are also like, it's not just um how can I use it? I don't want to use that word, but like there are different sort of settlements with people. Like there are different settlements. There are people who have like sort of small villages sort of settlements, and they also do farming. So like they also grow, and a lot of them like will come because like at home we have a grinding mill chiga, so people would come, and it's so many people, and you realize, oh, all these people have like, and so for us that side, it's very rare you go to a house and find like people actually buy mealie meal, because everyone has just utilized
Utilize
this,
the fact that
'cause
they
it's-
have maize and there's a
Yeah.
chicken around. Just go much down.
yeah, and it's like, because it's very helpful, because now when you have this, like you have this a good harvest, right? On average, from what I've seen from like everyone's farms, on good harvest, everyone will have like 50 bags
Oh, that's
of
cool.
maize, and I'm not
Yeah.
talking about 25 kg. I'm talking about 50 kg bags of maize. So
huge.
like it's 50. So now imagine have like almost
50
everyone is picking up 50 bags.
50
you know?
bags of
50 or
50,
40.
yeah.
That's on a good year when the rainfall has been normal and inputs have been there on time. And that even takes me to like now the bad part of crop farming, whether it's like, because sometimes we'd also do things like beans. It's not hard to grow. It's
Really?
actually, no, it's not very difficult to grow actually.
Okay.
Beans is very good. Would also grow like groundnuts every year. This is the only year when we didn't even have like, but we still had some, but we didn't have a lot because of the rain.
The rain, okay.
Yeah, so we'd grow beans, groundnuts, and stuff like that. But the one people do the most is maize. Now with
Okay.
maize, the pressure is sometimes inputs. Inputs are expensive, bro. Like
Hey,
a bag of
fertilizer just-
fertilizer is insane. So people usually survive through cooperatives, right?
Okay.
Cooperatives work pretty well because it's sort of like you register and they sort of subsidize the price of the fertilizer for
Oh,
you by a
okay,
lot, and that's how
okay.
like people. That's how. So I was wondering how like the smaller people
Smaller
are
people
surviving.
actually
the smaller farm,
surviving,
and they
yeah.
told me, I'm like, oh, we're in cooperatives, and I'm like, oh, so you guys are in cooperatives? That's how you do things, But it doesn't
Also,
stop.
you get your maize as a cooperative,
As
and
a
then you share it
cooperative,
from
then you
there.
share them amongst the members
Wow,
of that
that's cool,
cooperative,
that's cool.
which
And I-
which helps them.
It's so funny when you're having. So
Yeah.
it's funny when we're having this conversation like this. I mean, for people that don't know you. And then
Oh
they'll
no,
be
they're
kinda-
shocked.
They're just like,
I know
bang!
a place that I even know what a cooperative is, bro. Like, there's so much I know how to do. I can even fix pumps.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I grew up in a very hands-on sort of situation and family, So I know how to do a lot of things, a lot of different things. Luckily, God willing, they looked like
He
they were
doesn't
bothering
mean
me.
girls, guys. So
Yeah, no. Very loyal guy. Just waiting for marriage. Amen.
bless.
Yeah, so because of that, I've learned how to do like a lot of things. So even with maize, for example, would have armyworm. So you just enter, you spray them, but like people don't talk about farming. Looks very good and luxurious, but no one talks about like the bad side of it. Like this year we had a drought, you know what I mean? And we're even talking about how, imagine it's your first time venturing into this, and you venture
Man,
into it when
you
there's
just lose
you
everything.
put oil, and those are things that mentally a lot of farmers are ready for. Like this year, there might be a drought, and we have to prepare for the fact that we might not have any maize even in what we're planting.
Exactly.
And you think about the expensive inputs. Sometimes these fertilizers come in late, and maize is a very timely thing. It will reach a certain stage where it's like it's time to put beso. To reach a certain stage where it gets high, it's like now it's time to put top dressing. And you have a specific period of time to get this done before you lose it completely. So because of like the inputs not coming in a timely fashion, or them being expensive, or you not raising the capital, those are like the problems people don't talk about, how expensive
All those
it is
things
to
are.
get into farming.
I mean, you're already fighting a lot of things. I think you're
Yeah.
fighting
Then now
with
there's
nature.
and the biggest one is the nature, because now we're going through like climate change. We don't know when it's going to rain.
Yeah.
We don't know, like it's shifted. Like when we plant over the years, it's shifted a lot. We would start planting as early as sometimes it was November.
Okay.
But then it started shifting bit by bit. Next thing it's like, oh, Christmas period. Next thing, oh, you're planting in January. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's like late play.
yeah, like when you plant early, sometimes you have to transplant, sometimes you have to replant. You know, there's all these aspects people don't talk about that you have to be
That you have
ready
to be ready for. And then, like I said back again, if such knowledge is not being told to people, okay, like our generations are like upcoming farmers,
Yeah.
I feel we should embrace such things because we
Yeah.
can't be all town oriented,
And that's the
wanting just to
thing.
get
Yeah.
the fast foods. Man, I
Yeah.
feel it's nice to just sometimes be natural, grow your tomatoes,
Definitely.
grow your onion, grow all these
Oh yeah, yeah,
small,
yeah.
small
And
things
we
that you
also,
need to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we also, funny you mentioned, that's one of the things we also do, like vegetables. So the people from around, like the marketeers, would actually come order from us. That's rape, Chinese, giant rape, Wondwe, name it, would grow all that, and even tomatoes themselves. And it's funny you mentioned that, people don't know how hard tomatoes are to grow, yeah?
And all they will complain is, but I
The
don't have
price.
tomato.
And that's the thing, yeah, it deviates. With tomatoes, it's like it's easier to grow at a certain time of the year. If you notice, it gets expensive during rain season.
Yes.
Because that's when there are a lot of like pests and whatever. So it's very hard to grow tomatoes during rain season. So
Also
if you want to make
also
your
now, now the supply becomes okay.
so the supply goes down.
complexity
So that's
is
why
really
it's
nice.
always around rain season when the price like
Pew.
shoots, and that's what always happens. So like if you want to make your real money, right? If you are like a farmer, this is like free game for you. If you want to make your real money, you plant your tomatoes around the rain season.
You make some
And I'm
sense,
speaking
man.
I'm speaking from experience, but we used to
Yeah.
sell them, so we know how like
So
the
how do you do
prices
your
deviate.
stuff? It's the whole crate
It's a box.
thing. Oh, okay.
It's per box. So it's funny. That's the craziest thing, because sometimes a box will drop to like 50 kwacha, sometimes it's at 300 kwacha.
At the moment, I
and
think
depending-
how much? My bad. Per box now, tomatoes I thought now, like 50. I think I saw it like
it's
I
now
know-
at 100. It deviates. Under 100
yeah,
kwacha,
because now it's at the moment I think there's like oversupply of it. So
yeah,
now
because here it's like it's
dropped.
at the part of the year where it's easier to grow.
Oh.
Yeah, like this
okay.
time, yeah, Mapalo, yeah?
Yeah.
You also grow, yeah, around this time it's easier to grow.
We grow tomato not like large scale.
Yeah.
Just like
But not even like it's the same concept for
Yeah,
everything,
yeah, so
and it's also but it's also very expensive to grow. And let me just drift off because we've talked a lot about that. Now we can talk about like livestock, right?
Yeah.
That's also very crazy because we've seen.
Do you
there's a
know
time
do you know Mapalo's other nickname that no one knows?
what's his nickname?
Mapalo Meg.
I remember.
That's Mapalo Meg now. When
Huh?
when he comes on the next show, they should put the
Yeah,
Mapalo
Mapalo
Meg.
Meg. Nah, and then there's Mapalo won't tell you, but with like eggs, it's like one of the only farming businesses where you make more than 100% profit, yeah, on like what you initially send.
It's so
it
fun.
goes as much as even like 600-700% profit if you ask me.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
but the problem with eggs is that right now where it's at, it's oversaturated.
The market is oversaturated, so that's why the prices are just.
Everyone is supplying eggs.
Yeah.
So you find that us
Who's up there? Yeah.
we also have our own birds and we feed them.
Mm,
Other people just like buy from eggs.
bro.
The prices are like somewhere
Yep.
between. So it's really wild.
So no,
No, I
you did bring up a good point here.
Yeah.
You're making more than 100% your profit.
Yeah.
No, 3 minutes by the way.
3 minutes. Jesus, we will just finish it.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. But anyway, more than 100% of your
More than 100%
of your
profit,
earnings,
bro.
more profits. But the model of business is you are not supposed to make like those are not okay for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. Those are like abnormal profits. But that's the luxury you get with doing eggs, right?
Yeah.
To say when you sell this for that you make boom money.
Yeah.
And his point is it's oversaturation because people realize there's like serious
Yeah,
business in this.
I think like in places like Kitwe, of course, it's going to be a bit tight. Now in Lusaka,
I can imagine.
there's a lot of market for eggs. I think that's where the difference is, right?
Okay.
But it's always, should we wrap it up from there?
I don't know. It's like 3 minutes. He will tell us after.
2 minutes, okay, that's
Yeah,
enough
he will tell
time.
us. Please.
So like when so the way it is that at the end of the day, despite like the farmer making that profit, it's due to our disadvantage because what people order and the price they go sell at is very different, bro.
So give an example.
It's very high. Let me give theoretical numbers because we haven't done eggs in a while, yeah? if I'm selling a tray maybe today at let me say 45 kwacha, you find the person who's like coming to order at 45 is selling the food tray for theirs will go at like 60.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how much profit the people who are like selling the eggs make. Like people like in Lusaka, people like they will line up. If you even if your competition, for example, is selling maybe at like is like 45 kwacha and you put yours at 44. Yo.
That's got one kwacha
That
difference.
one kwacha makes a big difference because people will be like coming through to buy from you. So like those are the interesting things I've seen like with poultry.
Okay.
Like with the eggs in general, the eggs themselves. Way more money than things like broilers. Broilers are quite they are quite slow. The farmers, it's quite slow. Unless maybe you sell them at a gigantic scale, but it's very
Yeah.
So it's-
200 breads per session.
nah, you won't make that much money. Like if maybe let's say 3,000-4,000, maybe from there.
Even for eggs, eggs, if you're like 4,000 breads, that's like 3-5 eggs a day.
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
Those are
crazy.
profits.
Those are crazy profits, yeah.
Crazy profits.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's okay. That's very interesting. I didn't, you casually know about such information. But
Oh,
then
yeah,
when you
bro.
start to hear things, you're like, yeah, it's worth investing, but like, are you
Yeah,
ready?
that's just the
like, are you
thing.
ready for that?
Oh, we can tell you the bad side of eggs.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. I'll just mention. All I have to say is Newcastle. Oh, bro.
what's Newcastle?
It's a disease, bro. It kills them.
Really?
When it enters, it's bad, bro. We once lost like 300-400.
I think Mapano complained about those. No, that was something else.
There's
No,
Newcastle. Sometimes
stay.
cold season they just die.
They stop laying.
Oh, we can also talk about theft, bro.
Oh, yeah, theft. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Chickens.
First, like they killed the pigs, like all of them twice, like competitors, bro.
Ah.
And I'm talking about big numbers, like huge. Where you just wake up and all your pigs are dead, bro.
Yeah.
Like why you even get perplexed, man? You're like, what?
I didn't imagine like that's your livelihood.
Yeah, and that was like, that was at a stage where it's like it's just that. That's what you've invested in at the moment. Then someone drops you like that, bro. It's
And so I think also those. Hey man, how many minutes?
We're done.
It's
Almost
cut.
done. Only like a minute left.
All right. We were going on another break. It's like I said, what, third break? No, we're going
Yeah,
to wrap
third
it
break.
up
Yeah,
from
we're going to
here.
wrap
What's
it
your
up from
pressure?
here.
Come on, soak. We are going. we're going. Sorry, well, that was uncalled for. We're going on another break. I don't know. You want to say something?
Let's go on a break.
Hello, ladies
We're back.
and gentlemen. We are back. Apara said that he will stop the Shimi podcast if we do not finish it under 5 minutes. What else you said, Ka?
Yes.
So we have to finish it
Nothing
under.
went in my mouth, but yes.
slow.
Anyone, just to wrap it up, any advice on people that would like to venture in farming?
I mean, do it. But like prepare adequately. It goes wrong more than it goes right. Like that's one thing that I'll tell you. Sometimes you make all these like projections, estimations, because Zambians, we have a problem of wanting like fast money, and we tend to believe farming is fast money. It's really investment, patience, and passion.
Passion,
A lot of passion, bro. You have to care for those animals like they're your
They're your
kids,
kids,
bro.
huh?
You have to care about everything that you're growing and you have to be very hands-on. So make sure you actually have the time, and if you don't, make sure you have the skilled people, and especially the resources. And make sure like those are resources that things will go well, but also just make sure you always have like a sort of rainy day fund just in case anything happens at each point. And don't make it your sole thing, man. Venture into other things as well. But if you're really good at it, you could.
And it can kill you.
No, it can.
Yeah.
Proper.
So
Yeah.
imagine. I'm thinking about it now. Like imagine how our folks and their parents handled
Yeah.
this, because maybe not to say there weren't resources, but back in the day, they were in the village.
Yeah.
They were basing it off Umnandala Stefi, Uyakanga Vishakoku. It was just your Bali
Yeah.
and his brothers and your grandfather.
Yeah.
They were going to the farm. Yeah, they had money for input. In fact, I think back in the day they used to give them input.
Yeah, I used to give them
because
inputs,
of
yeah.
course,
Yeah,
they
that was
were
back in
they
the
weren't
day.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
They gave them input. Maybe that was what made it a bit
Yeah.
cheaper to do now.
And land was also cheaper. There
Yes,
are like
so
all
I
those
think-
factors.
Yes, and
Yeah.
now it's like super expensive.
It is super expensive.
People want to venture in, but just getting land's a problem. Getting skilled workers a
land,
problem. I mean, this man
building the infrastructure, bro, finding water, it's
a lot.
You have to be quite strong.
You have to do my borehole
Yeah,
situations.
because we've dug a couple of dry boreholes, yeah.
See?
So it's sort of those are like things you have to be.
prepared for. And then that
Exactly.
boy, you're not going to dig a borehole with a hoy. You're going to have to
you
bring
have
some
to-
money
yeah,
from
exactly.
wherever,
And
you're going to have
it's
to
pretty
pay.
pricey,
It's pretty
bro.
pricey for that.
It's pretty pricey. I think it's like 20 grand.
Yeah, right now it's
Yeah,
a 20.
20.
No, it's even cheaper. No, it's cheaper.
Is it 15? Maybe.
Between 15 and 20.
Yeah, but
Oh,
so
it's-
it's like it values. It goes.
So you're saying it's
and
cheap?
even and that's not like with guaranteed to find water. If they dig and they don't find, it's another 20 grand to dig
Yeah,
again
that's not
somewhere
their
else.
pressure. Of course, they're going to have
Yeah.
to start looking around for it.
Exactly.
So as much as it does look, like you said, it does look cool. Yeah, we farm. You don't know the complexities that are out there. So
Nah,
yeah, I
def-
won't lie. I've been encouraged to want to do, but of course that's probably like a later on thing. I would really
yeah.
care, like to have a farm where over the weekend you're doing this stuff, you're going
Yeah.
there and all that stuff. Otherwise, it's really cool like that. Otherwise, no. Thanks for the insight, not only on farming, but the mental health as well. Also, the Twitter discussion we had, that was really cool. Shout out to Masulani. I enjoyed that.
Last,
project.
shout out to Tony, bro. Tony and Glasses Girl. Tony the Goon, bro. He's doing big things. The granddaddy's ambassador.
Man, I'm so every
Tony.
time I see him doing stuff, I just don't see stuff anymore. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but yeah, what he's doing, like
Coolest-
all from his
Yeah.
just
Coolest guy in
Twitter
the
stuff.
world, bro.
Really,
Coolest guy
I
in
always
the
wanted
world,
like
bro.
meet him in person. He must be
Yeah,
such
no,
a
he's
cool
dope,
people.
bro. I've chilled with him a couple of times.
Oh,
Man.
okay.
We've known each other. Even when I like used to get dragged, people don't know this about Tony. Yeah, when I used to get dragged, Tony would text me like
Really?
himself and just say, bro, like if people are coming at you like this, it's because you're doing good, bro. Like just keep on and like just keep ignoring him. He's one of the few people who actually like would directly reach out and encourage me and like. That's why I support everything he does because I always remember that he was there for me.
Like some people on Twitter,
Yeah.
really
They're
genuinely
pretty
very
dope,
cool
bro.
people.
Because even like throughout my stay in uni, people also don't know this, or people do know this, but like Trevor Mumba, like the self-styled king. Shout out to my boss, increase my salary. But he's also like he's one person who like he gave me a remote job while I'm in uni. you know?
Really?
That's been sustaining me like from times where I was broke.
And man's just
Yeah,
put you
like
onto
he
something.
literally
yeah.
just brought me in and like literally made me like a part of the family and like a part of like his company family, bro. And like, bro, at a point where I had nothing going on for me, like where I would be broke, like, bro, you can't like forget that, you know. And those are like some of the coolest people I've met. So
So I
shout
think
out.
yeah, especially Twitter. I have a friend. He does Z stuff.
Yeah.
I've just forgotten his handle, but it's got like a kinda jersey somewhere there.
Mhm.
Was supposed to watch a game with him, but then I got busy.
Mm.
Otherwise, super cool guy. I've met a lot of people off Twitter.
Yeah,
like
who are
some
pretty
people that are
dope.
pretty
Yeah.
cool, pretty dope. Yeah, I've had some
Others who are not,
Redditors,
yeah,
just
that's how it goes,
douchebags,
bro.
but just like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is
Just
what it is, bro.
you let people be. But
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, I just felt at least part of the space we would have had to like give a shout to the people that we kind of met
yeah.
and seen from there. But otherwise, what Joey too.
Oh, yeah, Joy.
Joey.
Yeah, people also don't know this, but like that's when I'm talking about close friends, like
That's one of them, man.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, cool people.
Yeah,
I've always
definitely
wanted
cool
to have him. Joey, please.
Next
please.
time when keep it, bro, I'll drag him here.
Please, we're on our knees, please.
Hey, get check is that.
All me.
You was. Otherwise, man,
bet.
yeah, Godfrey too.
Yeah,
Came
definitely.
here, gave us a shout, gave us a boost. Patience too, man.
Yeah.
All these guys, like,
Dopest people I know, bro.
man, I like it when people help each other, one
yeah,
another. Like,
definitely,
it
bro.
doesn't hurt for you to come
Yeah.
on a thing and like pop
Just
up, man.
do it.
It's under
Yeah,
pressure, man.
definitely, bro.
Same as you, man. Came here. You had things to do, but you came and
I know, of
you
course,
gave
bro.
Us, gave
Always,
us a shout,
bro.
man. Otherwise,
Always,
man,
bro.
every time you need to do your thing, we'll be there for you. Otherwise,
say less,
Mr.
bro.
Supersoft himself,
Last,
I told
we
you
go
about that,
again.
yeah, man. I've always wanted to go there. I've never gone there.
Nah,
But
it's
I feel like
pretty
I'm
dope,
too old for it now. I'm too old
guess
for
so.
it. No,
Man,
I think
I'm
I'm
not
too
young.
old for it. I
Yeah.
think I'm too old for it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't do
not,
it anymore.
I'm not young. Everyone thinks I'm like, I don't know what age people think I'm. But I
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going, bro.
yeah. No, but I feel personally, mentally, like I just feel so out of place. Like
Yeah.
like my heart my heart's with like the Gen Z.
Yeah.
My head is like in the 80s. So my actual age, I'm just not even there. It's just
Yeah.
a number for me. It's not
Yeah.
like who I am. No.
I think for me it like helps because I go it like no. You.
Screw you.
Okay,
Screw
we
you.
refuse
That is
that.
not what I
Ah.
mean.
Yeah, this one can make this a snippet.
Last time. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, but what? I panic.
No,
I remember to is don't know edit.
Stupid. Stupid. Opalo, you're useless. You are useless. You're useless. But yeah, my man.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, bro. It's sort of like when you go with people who are like your boys, it's sort of like cool.
Yeah, I
You know,
guess
like
so.
our old age mates. So us, as long as we're in our corner and not doing
Doing
our
our
thing.
thing, and it's cool like that. And I've always wanted to go. There's like a bucket list, but then I've always felt like, why even like it? Why
Nah,
just feel out of place?
Just hit me up when you're about, bro.
Right. Def. Def.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no. Man, nice having you around. Thanks for
Nah.
sparing your time just to come at the Shimi podcast.
Nah,
Coolest
cheers for having
podcast.
me.
Coolest
Shimi
podcast in I don't say Copper Belt because they might attack us. So I'll just say the
man.
coolest podcast around.
See, I want to say they go back on their podcast. When you think
You know
people,
what? I always ask myself. I'm
zero.
like, why are they not there? Is it that people don't want to talk? But anyway,
I want to know why the shawarmas are not nice.
so yesterday,
To wrap up,
no. Last thing. So yesterday, Nason goes like, man, there are no nice showers in here. His comment section was full of after 10,
I
after
was
10,
upset,
yes, and then I will not lie. I'm not shooting down after 10 showers.
Me, I am.
They're very, of course, they're very
Bad.
generic. No, that's very.
Shawarma and a soup.
They've been.
With a tomato. Shawarma. A big one. Well,
Look, they've been doing what they've been doing for the longest time.
So they're
That-
tired.
No, they're just not innovative.
Last-
That's for me what I'm. That's what I'm going to say. They're not innovative. They're not nice. In fact, I'm probably going to buy another one. So
It's just that they're
Yeah.
the only option, bro. Because I tried bread cafe, then their shawarma was like the crust was like
it was with bread.
chikoko, like chikwanga, you know, like under the fonshima. That's what the crust was like, bro. With a tomato inside. You guys-
No.
But cut this out. This is just a personal complaint. No, keep it. Maybe they'll change. No, bro.
I hope.
I am actually not happy, bro. Like from the time I've been here, I love shawarmas, bro. Not even one decent one. But anyway, since we're talking about shawarmas, we can wrap things up.
Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.
Yeah,
Guys, we're
it's
out.
it's a
We
wrap,
will
so
see
we
you
wrapped
next
up.
time. Hopefully, without Mapalo again, because it was fun without him.
Slow.
Screw we too for not being here.